We have gone through the group stages all morning and afternoon. We just saw Sen demolish Sase 2-0, and now it is time for the matchup everyone has been waiting for. OGS MC versus Idra!
All right, I'm just going to be unprofessional because you just too much tension.
I'll get it. You know, in these matches, we always have a couple of items on the table, such as trash. We were just eating dinner. I removed it, and then I grabbed all of Apollo's notes and just threw them behind the stage.
I needed that, man. This is the brackets for the upper bracket. I thought we might want to talk about that.
We do have the upper brackets, the results from the matches that were just played.
All right, so in the upper bracket, first game that was played was Soke versus Ret. Soke takes that 2-1. Ret knocked out, unfortunately, for Team Liquid. Second game, Huck versus Preddy. Huck takes that 2-0.
I think a lot of people are going to be excited about that. Huck managing to take down Moon and then continuing his run in the tournament. We'll be playing tomorrow.
And so that is going to be Soke versus Ret. The third game played was July versus Mana. July takes that 2-1.
Another close series and another fan favorite.
And the fourth game which was played was obviously the one we casted. Sase taking, well, Sase, no, mistake. Sen taking Sase out 2-0, so that will be July Zerg versus Sen.
That could be a Zerg versus Zerg that goes either way. July Zerg has had a lot of volatility in his ZVZs lately. We even saw Moon able to take out July at the recent MLG event, which was a big shocker to a lot of folks. But
and then,
of course,
the other ones that are about to play now from the other streams, Total Biscuit stream, Icy Cup, Naniwa versus Braddock, which was the game we were going to start off with, but because of the way the bracket laid out, we're not going to do that one. White Ra versus Moon. I think that's going to be an epic game. Bomber versus Haziwabs. And what's the last one?
The last one is what is about to start right now. OGS MC versus EG's Idra. The players are in the game. The first map will be on GSL Crevasse, asking both players if they are indeed ready. We see ready from both players. And it begins. The third major tournament confrontation of these two. OGS MC knocking Idra out at the Dreamhack Invitational, knocking him out at MLG Columbus. And can MC do it a third time in a row? We're going to find out right now on GSL Crevasse. The map is loading, and it looks like OGS's MC's computer will have to catch up. Ours load first. And here we are. We are now in game.
It has begun.
In the top right corner, the hero from South Korea claiming he will win every non-Korean tournament he enters. We have OGS MC! And in the top left, the man who was the king of beta, sprinting out to an extremely early lead. But recently his tournament games have been faltering. Can he win it here? In the top left we have EG's Idra!
All right, and as you said, they have met twice before in a large major events. Looking at the record between these two players now, Idra only with 2, MC with 6 against Idra. Obviously, that is an amazing record to have, and now we are going to be going into this game, and MC has that pylon down, has gone straight into the base of Idra for a very early scout, and could very well possibly deny Idra off that fast expansion, which I'm sure he was basing a plan around.
Only time Idra cannot get off a fast expansion on this map is if OGS MC scouts him first. Now, Idra is pretty much the most perfect early game player you will ever see. Never misses a beat, refines his build to absolute supreme, like unbeatable quality almost, as we saw at MLG. But keep in mind, the one thing that is Idra's curse is when he gets thrown off, he crumbles very quickly. And wow, spawning pool gas and OGS MC with a Nexus first at the back.
MC playing to Idra's style, knowing that he's not an aggressive Zerg early on, and especially the way this map is played out, is that it's so hard to prevent a Protoss from doing that. So MC taking full advantage of the situation, will throw down that Nexus, followed by a Forge and need be a cannon if he does see some form of aggression. And Idra not getting that early hatch yet, will be wanting to do it very shortly, and we'll have to see when he will pull off that drone to go and do so.
We do see the Gateway and Forge going down for MC. He has one Gas Geyser incoming. A lot of different builds that can go on this map. You can easily see a lot of the players do some style like fast Blink Stalker, big Gateway plays, even the crazy 2 Stargate opening we saw from Sake. Either way, we do see Idra is doing the expand, and this might look like a mistake from other players, but Idra is actually very deliberate about having slightly less than a full worker count in there. Doesn't want to get speed extremely fast, but does want to get it somewhat soon. OGSMC doing a standard response, planting down a cannon at his wall off, and thus far I think Idra fans are going to be delighted to see Idra is not choking, is not trying to end the game fast, is playing his strength, a straight up ZVP.
And in MC's base, Idra did manage to get the probe in, did see the Gateway and Forge, and probably guesses now that there is a Nexus in the back there. And is Idra gonna fast expand from here? He went 20 over on the gas and has begun speed though. Usually when Idra prefers to get a third base in this situation, he will not get speed immediately and will then get it afterwards, after he gets that third base. But a second probe being pulled out now for MC. Will go ahead and check for that third base, I'm sure. And in he goes. He does check for that third base. And no, notice that Idra doesn't have it and will go into the main. 2 queens coming out to deny that.
And Idra, great timing. Will not only pick off that probe, but will also be able to get those queens back in time. Look at that larva just now popping up. Will be adding the next one, and the drone is marching forth. Looks like another expand will be coming up for Idra, spreading that creep to join together with that third, which is going to be really important because as we see, the Stargate, the infamous Stargate that crushed Idra so many games in a row at MLG, going down for MC.
And he could have been anticipating some kind of aggression. It's very safe, and he beat, like you said, Idra with that many times before, but Idra has gone for that third base, and the creep spread beginning very early and is spreading out very well. And we do have an Evo chamber going down soon for Idra here, so we'll be able to get that Spore Crawler up quite fast.
So we have the Evo chamber popping down. Definitely also want to add that he could begin getting some sort of plus upgrade. Most of the Korean players really love going for some kind of very fast melee, but will Idra go for range? Oh no, Idra is going to march in, and he sees it!
Sees the Void Ray!
And it looks like Idra will not be playing in the dark. We'll have some excellent planning. Keep in mind, he can even see that a Void Ray is being produced by looking at this shape that is in Q. It is a Void Ray. No Phoenixes coming up now. A lot of people criticize Idra because Idra claims that he needs to have perfect scouting to be able to perform well. Whether you agree with that or not, that is how he views the matchup, and he has just gotten perfect information. And again, Idra crumbles when he's under pressure, but my God, does he excel brilliantly when he thinks that he is going to win. And there we see one Spore Crawler going down. Looks like some drones are transferring, and look at the Spore Crawler placement. Completely going to shut out any entrance from this Void Ray.
In comes the Void Ray. Does get a bit of damage on these drone lines, but Idra did build a couple of extra queens. Void Ray taking hits, and a second Void Ray just about to be completed now. And a third Void Ray in production. This is really confusing for me because he's noticed that Idra has got well defended up. He scouted it early on. And this is interesting. And look at that. 3 more gateways being added on here, Sean. 4 MC in the main base.
Now this will almost certainly lead to a reasonably timed push. Not too fast, but will be pretty strong. Keep in mind, though, that those gateways have to finish full production and go into Warp Gate and then begin morphing in units to really do enough damage. Idra, though, does have the speed going down for Overlords, the extra range upgrade, and look at this. So many Spore Crawlers out right now. I don't think MC is going to be expecting this in the slightest, and it looks like, uh-oh, he's going to sneak along the top. Does Idra have a Spore Crawler in the main? He does not.
Ooh, that's actually a weakness point. And no, he's actually going to go straight for the Spore Crawler. And where are Idra's queens? They need to be coming in here. MC with some decent micro. And he might even go ahead and pick up this queen. And Idra taking quite a lot of hits already.
But there's 2 Hydralisks in production. The question is, Idra will hold it off, but will MC do enough damage? It looks like he forces 1 cancel. Will he manage to get the Void Ray? He does not get it. MC with the perfect micro pulls it back with a single hit point. Idra taking some damage, MC pulling slightly ahead, and here might come a potential early push from the Protoss.
Yeah, it might be. It could be a push, or it could be able to take that third expansion. We'll have to see, and he's got to be careful with these Void Rays taking a few hits. But Idra did, in the meantime, while that was going on, get the Hydra again. get that Roach one and even has a macro hatch inside his base. His money's so low, but the supply is so equal right now. 84 versus 86 in the unit counting station for the workers. We do have 57 drones for Idra versus 50 probes for MC.
And this might be an opportunity for a perfectly timed counter push from Idra. Ordinarily, you don't get the chance to do an attack early with Hydralisks, but this expansion suddenly going down. Has Idra gotten the chance to see it? If we check out his vision, he does know that the expansion is there, and the question is, will this Colossus get out in time to deal with a giant swell of Hydros early on? We see no Ventral Sacks coming up, no drop. Idra will be playing straight up aggression style, but we did see at MLG Columbus, the way that Idra was able to take the win was with those drops.
And he will continue to spread creep towards that third base of MC. As you can see, the creep tumor has now gone above the destructible rocks, and very shortly Idra will begin taking them down and will launch an attack towards that direction. And MC, very smart, has 2 cannons in place on that third base, expecting possibly some kind of aggression, and these Phoenixes do scout that the rocks have been knocked down now. But that Colossus is at 60 out of 75. It will not have Thermal Lance, though, which could be very important for Idra, but still
so essential.
So close.
This is going to have to be a miracle defense from OGSMC. Idra, non-stop Roach production. What are the rally points on his hatch? It is straight at the front. Idra is gearing up for an early kill. Can he pierce through? The range upgrade is not done. The Colossus will be somewhat ineffective. Roaches taking out the backside. MC not prepared for the surround, and it looks like the Roaches moving in from the right and the Hydras from the left. MC opts to take out the units from the right side before pulling back. It looks like Idra getting caught off guard, but continuing to rally to the front. And the range upgrade for the Colossus still not yet done. The Roaches moving in from the side. Idra with an incredible amount of macro. 19 Roaches are being rallied in, but Idra's units shooting at the refineries instead of at the units of MC. We do see Idra is still far ahead in the food, and we see that there are almost no more ground units for MC. Idra forced to do a retreat, but it is only temporary as 18 Roaches wrap up production. Rallying in, Idra doing an amazing timing attack. If OGSMC can defend this, he will win. If Idra cracks this expo, that will be his ticket to a Game 1 win.
And the pros were pulled off there, and MC feeling the pressure, and Roaches continue to get really close to the Colossus. Oh, Idra. And he's adding on the Spire in the background too. Will be able to transition over to Corruptors very easily, and adding on a 4th base too.
Oh no, the Colossus is gonna fall!
Idra, and that is awesome. As the Colossus fall down, Idra adds on 10 more Hydras to his composition, knowing that the Hydras will be unstoppable if there are no Colossus there. And the great use of the Phoenixes though for MC, but Idra playing so strong right now.
And I mean, I said that if Idra did not win with this attack, that he was running the risk of losing the game immediately, and I've never been more delighted to be wrong. Look at the expansion hatch. Idra taking a bigger lead with that expansion. We also see the Spire going down in the main. Idra's money has hardly ever dipped above 500 this entire game, and here Idra is swinging in to the natural expansion, making another huge push. A single Colossus remains. All the Zealots getting absolutely obliterated, but MC starting to climb intimidatingly high in that Stalker count, and the second Colossus joins into the fray. Idra will be pulling back, but it is temporary as he ends up establishing that 4th, and his Spire is now done.
Let's give you some figures now. 65 drones versus 65 probes. 4 more gateways have been added on into the main of MC. And on the natural, he is adding on a Twilight Cancel so he can begin the 2-2 upgrades. The thing is with Idra, he's stuck at only +1 Hydros and Roaches, which could be his downfall if MC continues with his upgrades. But now Idra is taking that 4th base and will be able to continue with a strong economy. +1 Flies attack being made, 4 Corruptors being added into the mix as well.
Now the real danger for Idra is that if this Twilight Council finishes and a blink ends up popping down a little bit early on, that means that even if the Colossi do fall, that Idra might be in the same situation he was in that final game where he was eliminated from MLG Columbus. He might be up against a mass Blinkstalker army and might not be able to hold it off. 71 drones versus 69 probes. We see the large force of OGS MC moving out, cleaning up the creep tumors and pulling back to regroup. Level 2 upgrading, and we see more corruptors in the mix.
Yeah, very smart there by MC. Not choosing to engage, just putting a bit of pressure back onto Idra, killing the creep tumors, but doesn't want to engage until he has, you know, at least 160, maybe 180 food, and especially when +2 finishes and also that blink. And Idra gonna go ahead and take that 5th base in the south location as well. And this is really strong. Actually, this Phoenix does scout that 5th base also.
Idra about to hit maxed. What will he spend that last 8 food on if he got a handful of corruptors? That could be key. And Idra playing so well. His Zerglings will get picked off, but can he get the probe? He does not. The expansion will go down.
And it's all going to be about position. Can Idra get a nice open area when this engagement does go down? Because if he doesn't, these force fields will be able to pick him apart. This is MC. These force fields will not give Idra any slack at all. A few spine crawlers have been added onto this base, and also a spore crawler just in anticipation for any DTs or any late game harassment. And as I say, that Dock Shrine just starting to begin now for MC.
Now this has been a problem for Idra in the past. We've seen him do absolute wonders with timing pushes, but this timing push did not work. The other strength that Idra had was doing an amazing drop play, but no ventral sacks. Idra could be forced into just straight up fights, and it looks like the engagement has gone down, but not all the Corruptors are here. The Hydras and Roaches taking a ton of damage. Only one Colossus has fallen thus far, and we see more amazing force fields going down.
Wow.
Idra leaving the game a little early, but as we see, a dominating maxed army by MC Idra. Currently 1 game away from elimination, and OGS MC 1 game away from officially getting that title as the bane of Idra's existence in these major tournaments.
And I'm just looking at the stats now. 47,000 units made for Idra in terms of resources, only compared to 44 of Idra. And the resources, Idra a little bit in advantage, as you could tell. But that key fight at the end, Idra didn't have position, first of all. MC was on the higher ground. Idra trying to fight up around a lot. Like 50% of his army was not attacking at the back there. And unfortunately for Idra, does drop that first game. But we are not waiting. Nothing. We are going straight into the second game on Metalopolis.
Now, one thing to note, right after that big timing push, we saw that there was almost 1,000 more minerals lost of units for Idra. That goes to show that MC is the amazing defensive player that has helped him mark those wins throughout the tournament.